Hey y'all, listen. Let me tell you, Thursdays, happy hour was not enough. Sometimes I forget stuff. Listen, I'm not no spring chicken, so I had to bring you follow up Fridays because I told y'all I had to bring you another story. So let me play my intro and then we will follow up.
Work, work, work. To me, I can work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me for that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the girl, be murder, da, 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 da. Try me, I deserve it. Nothing to be lurking. Yeah. You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave for decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been. But I wake up and nothing's wrong. Just get ready for work, 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 work. To me, I be work, work, work.
Hey y'all, it's Mocha Mima. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, extra special welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Make sure you all like and subscribe. Click on the bell button so you will get a notification every time I upload. Now, y'all, listen, I might have to do a nightly news from the hood or something like that. So yesterday in my Thursdays, I talked to you about the young lady Carlisha Hood from Chicago, the one who was getting beaten up by the young man. Um, I'm not going to say his name, but I told y'all I was going to play the video for you of her the statement that she made. So I have that for you. Then y'all, I have something else to show you. I'm hoping I saved it. I thought I did. If I didn't, I'll be able to find it. But hold on 1 minute. Let me pull that up for you. Y'all, I'm glad today is Friday. I am tired today. And I still have to go to the airport to pick up my granddaughter. She's coming back home. She was in Atlanta and her flight keeps getting delayed. So it was supposed to leave at 3 and be here by, I think, 6 something or 5 something. And now it's delayed again. So let me pull, where is it? Oh, here. That's not it. Y'all, it's always something. Y'all, hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Sometimes these tabs, let's see, I'll get rid of this tab. Maybe it'll pop up. Because StreamYard only lets you have a certain amount of tabs. I'll get rid of. What is going on here? Oh, here it is. All right, y'all. So here's about Carlisha Hood from Chicago. Her, as you know, her and her son were both released from jail. They decided not to. The Chicago police decided not to file charges. Not the police, I should say, the DA's office. So she spoke out. So here's what she had to say. Oh, you know what? That's the wrong video. Ooh, sorry, y'all.
Know that their client was not guilty of the first-degree murder charges filed against her. Flanked by her two attorneys, 35-year-old Carlisha Hood broke down this morning, clearly overwhelmed by the events of the last 9 days.
I just need a little time to heal and to just get my life back with my baby.
Hood was released last night from Cook County Jail following a 6-day imprisonment on charges of first-degree murder and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. This after, on the night of June 18th, she was involved in a verbal altercation with 32-year-old Jeremy Brown while picking up a food order at a Maxwell Street Express restaurant in West Pullman. The incident, which was captured on both the restaurant surveillance video and on a witness's cell phone, shows that argument escalating into physical violence as Brown punches Hood in the head 3 times. We stopped the video before that first punch. It is just as that happens that Hood's 14-year-old son, who was by then standing in the doorway of the restaurant, opens fire on Brown, fatally shooting him in the back.
Never in a million years would I have imagined being brutally attacked, beaten, and then arrested.
Neither Hood nor her attorneys today addressed prosecutors' initial arguments against her, alleging that during the argument, Hood texted her son, who was waiting outside in their vehicle, to bring in a legally owned weapon she had in the glove box, inciting him to violence.
While the co-defendant was still shooting at the victim, the defendant instructed her son, the co-defendant, to continue to shoot and kill the victim.
What Hood's attorneys did address was the surveillance video, which by prosecutors' own admission, investigators had from the very beginning, and which they say demonstrates that any actions taken either by Hood or her son were in self-defense. Their lawsuit, filed this morning, accuses police officers of malicious prosecution, false arrest, and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
You don't have to be a lawyer to appreciate and recognize that when a woman is violently attacked by a man, an unarmed woman, that she shouldn't be arrested.
In dismissing the charges yesterday, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office said only, based upon the facts, evidence, and the law, we were unable to meet our burden of proof. An investigation into the now deceased Jeremy Brown's background shows that he was a convicted felon with several domestic battery charges against him. As for the lawsuit, the city of Chicago will only say that they will review it upon receipt.
So y'all, shout out to her. I was trying to find the other follow-up story to go with that. The young man that is now deceased, Jeremy Brown, he was laid to rest a couple days ago. I thought I saved the post, but I don't know what happened. But his family, his family is calling him the Knockout King. So his family all has shirts on, and on their shirts, they have on their shirts, Knockout King. So I'm trying to find that now. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. That's why I thought I had saved it. And I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I don't know. I may have saved it under my personal Instagram. Let me take a look and see if I did that. But I was totally shocked when I saw that, because I'm like, it's bad enough, you know, what happened to him, but to like glorify this unfortunate accident at this point, to me, it just, you know, I just think to myself, maybe it is, yeah, I did save it under my personal Instagram. So I'm just gonna send it over to myself. You guys just bear with me. Because it was under, I knew I had saved it because I had seen it twice. Y'all, I'm just gonna like chalk it up to it being there. Only thing I could think of is their grief. I mean, what could you say to some? I mean, You got to see it. If you guys haven't seen it anymore, you have to see it. So let me go over here to Instagram. All right.
Cause I put Knockout King on my motherfucking shirt. Bitch, he is the Knockout King of the motherfucking hundreds, bitch. Before this motherfucking situation, y'all really dragging this motherfucking case. Y'all really just want to have something to talk about. Y'all really got too much time on y'all motherfucking hands. Y'all really getting on my motherfucking nerves. And we really laughing at y'all. Y'all really making us famous. And thank you for the 10,000 views. Like, y'all ass going crazy. Yeah, y'all did y'all big one.
Oh, let me turn that music off. So this is them with their shirts, Knockout Kings. I don't know what to. Oh, are y'all able to see this? Let me see. Yes. I don't. Here, that's the cardboard cutout of him, and she's twerking. Now that looks like that's. I don't know who she is. I don't know. I thought it was maybe the sister, but this must have been after the funeral, which must have been a couple days ago or whatever. But that's the casket. Because who needed a GoFundMe? Not us. Okay. So that was one. That was from So Proud, So Proud to Be Black. They posted that for them. Shout out to them for posting it, I guess. And then here's the one for Nick at Night. It's the same, I think like the same post.
Cause I put Knockout King on my motherfucking shirt. Bitch, he is the Knockout King of the motherfucking hundreds, bitch. Before
yeah, this is what she said. Her name is Sade Shadu. And that's what she said. Yes, my shirt says Knockout King. Then I'm not. I just wanted y'all to see it. I just wanted. And Neek said she thinks the mother of the 14. I think she needs to relocate somewhere else. So I'm not gonna play the music, but this that looks like the cemetery. Yep, that's the cemetery. That's the cemetery, y'all. Black people, we gotta do better. So that's it on that story. Hmm. I don't even know what to. Let me go on to my next story. Next story, y'all. Y'all may remember Shirley Strawberry from the Steve Harvey show. Um, she is a lady, middle-aged lady around my age, in her 50s, I believe. Steve Harvey introduced her to her husband Ernesto back in, I think, like 2013 or 2013. They got engaged on the show, on Steve Harvey's radio show in 2015, and got married later that year. So they've had their troubles. They were evicted from their apartment. I think it was in Georgia. They were evicted from their apartment allegedly. Then he had some problems with the law last year in Georgia, where they said he was arrested for scamming people, and I believe may have been on probation. He is a barber down in, I think it's in Roswell, Georgia. Well, a couple days ago, he got arrested for P3DO, if you know what that is. P3DO. And allegedly some sexual type stuff with animals. And he is locked up in, I believe it's Cobb County Jail right now. Or they may have taken him to another jail since then. But this is in the media takeout. Let me show you the media takeout article. It is crazy that get to be her big age and going through stuff like this. So let me scroll up to the top of the article. So that's Shirley Strawberry right there. She may be a little older than me. But yeah, and also they found the child, stuff on his computer. And that's her husband there. That's Ernesto Williams, and that's Shirley Strawberry. I'm going to show you the video of the live bail hearing where he has a mask on, and that's how they found out it was him, because they slipped and said her name. Because I guess allegedly she let them know that she was a high caliber person or whatever. And it was a person of public notoriety. So let me go over to the tab here. So here is shout out to Biodiversity Law. This is from their page where they have a copy of the Zoom where you see the judge here, you see the ADA down here. Now this is her husband. He is in, if you go to the top row, second photo over, you see Cobb. It says Cobb Booth. He is dressed in orange. He has a mask over his face. And you will hear the attorneys talking. So let me make sure that you guys are able to see that. Yeah. So I'm going to play that screen for you right now. Go play that.
About going to see his girlfriend in Florida. Multiple times, actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well. About her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which, of course, quite far away from here.
He's considered dangerous. There are several pending warrants that will be coming out that, based on their content alone, there's a great likelihood that he's someone who would commit further felonies. Furthermore, without mentioning the facts of the case in front of
Your Honor, I apologize for the delay.
Following instructions.
Bullshit.
No, see you later, Miss Ferguson. Goodbye. Appreciate that. Don't let Miss Ferguson back in.
Sorry
Yep.
about that, Your Honor.
That's okay. Yep. All right.
Thank you
Best
for
of
your
luck to you, sir.
consideration.
So we'll
Have a
count
great
out the
day.
days that'll be put in place on the 91st day. All right.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. Ernest Williams. Don't let that lady back in. Ernest Williams. Wave your hand. Hey,
I heard
is
you,
that the one?
judges.
All right. Here we go. It's position. It's those four cases, I think, for Mr. Williams. Position 2 is 22 CP 210 500 355 days without indictment. There's a $15,000 bond as of 10/31/22 for theft by deception. Let's see, 22 CP 211078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment. $75,000 good bond as of December the 31st, 2022, with 3 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. Position 4 is 22 CP 212559, 355 days without indictment, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, and there is a $20,000 split bond as of 10/17/2022. Position 5, 355 days without indictment, 23 CP 215407. I'm assuming you want me to waive, Mr. Lewis?
Sure.
All right, I can say it if you want me to, or do you want me to waive it?
I don't think Miss Williams cares. Well, yeah, wait, Judge.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 other felonies on there that have to do with nudity, let's say. No bond as of January the 13th, 2023. Freak! Rah!
In regards to Mr. Williams, still other open cases, 22 SC 18443, theft by taking, theft by deception, 22 SC 184-402, theft of services, deposit account fraud. Both of those are assigned to Judge Edwards. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
All right, Judge. You mentioned all the days on Mr. Williams. So I don't find it to be a good use of anybody's time to go back through all of that. I believe Mr. Williams, my client, is now 59 years old. When I believe when this case first began, he was 58 years of age. Judge, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. He has lived in the Atlanta area since 1994. From 2015 to 2019, he lived in California. He got married in 2015, Judge. He is the father of 6 kids and 4 grandchildren, some of them in the state of Georgia. His oldest granddaughter is a student at Georgia State University. Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barber shops, both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some businesses, some land to the city of Atlanta in 2016 from those first sets of business. In 2021, he opened a new location, Nesto's Grooming, which 2 doors down from the old location. That business has been dissolved partially because of what is going on today with him sitting in. So in other words, he's losing money from his businesses from being in here. And that has been testified also to by one of the law enforcement officers from Roswell. He had owned an unarmed security service, Nesto's Elite Security Company, where he had a number of 1099 persons working for him. Judge, my client has a number of felonies in his past. Those felonies go all the way back to the 80s. He's got he's got one in 2008, which looks like it is a merger, meaning when they're doing the sentence on one, they're doing the sentence on the other. And there is a deal, and my client decides to take the deal. His wife resides in Buckhead, and you will see, I think that is the Buckhead community. She doesn't say Buckhead on her affidavit, but she does reside in Fulton County and in Buckhead. Judge, his history, there's nothing in the last 10 years. He's never been in one of these cases accused him of attempting to pass something.
Y'all, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Somebody off as a lawyer. His co-defendant in that case has a consent signature bond that has been signed off on. I believe Mr. Majestic can tell you more about that when he's to it. He has never himself been involved or accused or convicted of anything that involves a person passing themselves off as a lawyer or impersonating anybody ever in life. This last case that came about involves, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client's, and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children. He has been convicted of things like armed robbery in his past, and that occurred in Cobb County. I believe he was sentenced to 5 years back then on that. bank fraud when he came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's his federal case. So that's the kind of stuff my client has been convicted of in his past. And so far, nothing else has happened on these cases. The oldest you've quoted the dates on, the youngest you've quoted the dates on, all of those dates are beyond the 90 days, some of them beyond 180 days. So what I'm asking for, Judge, is on every last one of these cases, if and where you can, that you enter in a unsecured judicial release that mirrors his co-defendant on one case that she has with him that was consented to, and on another case where there's 14 counts where she engages or is alleged to have engaged in similar behavior as to what she is accused of in this case. On the rest of them, Judge, I'm asking for a UJR, but in no instance of an amount of a bond greater than $5,000 per count. On one of the bonds, I believe that you signed, Judge, you tell him he can't be with his wife. I'm going to ask that you.
Is that Melody Scretchen?
No, it's the other lady, the SS lady.
Oh, Strawberry.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, let him be with his wife before we end up having a divorce matter in Fulton County. Judge, also, you tell him he can't reside. I have an affidavit. His wife is a person of some public notoriety. She's given me the affidavit, Judge. I did not file it in because if it's filed, she likes to kind of remain private where she can, when she can. And so she asked that you take the necessary measures. If you want that filed in the court, we can do that. We can publish it directly to you right now so that her address doesn't become common knowledge for her public. Although she loves her public to death, she wants some privacy occasionally as well. And so that's what we're asking for, Judge. I believe that's the sum total of it. I'm sorry. There are two other matters that my client has in his history that I've been told of, but I haven't been provided with anything on. I understand that he has a warrant for a misdemeanor case out of Henry County that's still awaiting. And I've been told that there's a matter in California that the California doesn't want to extradite. I can't provide you. I wish I could give you more on that, but I can't. I don't have it. All right, so that's my request, and I thank you for hearing me.
All right, Ms. Patton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on. This will be Kevin Majeski for the state judge, and this will also be ADA Lisa Taylor. I wish I could be quick on this one, Judge. This is an extremely dangerous person we're dealing with here, and there's going to be numerous upcoming warrants coming in this case. I believe Roswell told us today when we checked for an update. Before the 13th, there's going to be about 15 plus more warrants coming his direction, serious felonies in there, for sure. The reason it was the 13th was so particular is because the last time that these particular cases were heard was in the month of January by Judge Belinda Edwards. She actually heard all the CP cases, and she also heard all the SC cases. Then she entered a ruling on one of the SC cases on the record, and for whatever reason, didn't put anything else on the record for the other ones. But Mr. Lewis and I had about, I think it was a 2.5 hour bond motion on that particular one that day. This will be considerably shorter. Yes. But Judge Edwards heard them back then. And if you note the bond order that she did file in, I believe was on 22 SC 184403, she denied bond in that case and left the no bond in 22 SC 184402, noting that he was an extreme likelihood to commit additional felonies. Going back to his history, Judge, of course, as Mr. Lewis correctly stated, starts in the 80s. He has a laundry list of crimes of moral turpitude that he's committed, multiple armed robberies. There was the one in Cobb, but he also committed another one in Douglas County as well. Got 10 years of custody for that, a short custody time in the first one, 10 years in the next one. Then, of course, false statements, multiple FTAs, probation violations, and the bank fraud, which he actually did get federal time for as well. So it was a little bit more complicated. than it was held out to be today. He's an ANC recidivist. To address Mr. Lewis's statements that he made about the California cases, it's true, he does actually have 2 warrants for his arrest out of California. Those are, as Mr. Lewis said, non-extradition warrants that he has present in both those cases. And we have the reports and the warrants in those cases in our file. They have to deal, both of those cases have to do with transporting stolen cars back here to Atlanta, actually, is what it says in both of those reports. One of them was out of LA County and one of them was out of Orange County, I believe. And then, of course, there is the case that the other county in Georgia has the hold on him for as well, Judge. When it comes down to these particular cases, I will note for the court that he does, I believe it's on case number 22 CP 212559. That case became kind of like an amalgamation of a few cases when it got entered in the clerk's office. I believe there's 3 charges on there that have no bond currently. We did address that in front of Judge Edwards, as Mr. Lewis could tell you as well, last time we were there, and I agreed with him. He was entitled to a bond then, still is now. And I had proposed, when Mr. Lewis and I had talked, a bond of $25,000 per on those particular charges. The reason I proposed that particular bond is because that particular bond mirrored what he had in the other case, which was $25,000 good as well. Judge, we consider this person to be a flight risk. We have jail calls where he's talking about going to see his girlfriend in Florida, multiple times actually. We have a call where he was talking with his wife about going to stay in her boss's house. I'm going to leave out all the names here, as Mr. Lewis did as well, about her boss's house in Abu Dhabi, which is, of course, quite far away from here, quite far removed from any court's jurisdiction here. And just the general scheme that's been going on here, Judge, when we were last in front of Judge Edwards, she put us on the clock, said, you guys got to get this done. You guys got to get this investigation done. We've been working with Roswell off and on, talking to them to see where their investigation is. It's on schedule. It will be done by the 13th. You'll be served with, like I said, 15 plus new warrants, some of which are very serious that this court, just to put it out there, that this court may not even be able to consider, unfortunately. It would have to be considered by a sitting elected Superior Court judge. And for that reason, I would have to recommend the $25,000 per on the 22 CP 212559. I believe that the other ADA Taylor, has something to say about 23 CP 215407 and the state's recommendation for bond in that particular matter, Judge.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
Good evening, Your Honor. Yes, as Mr. Majeski has stated, he's considered dangerous. There are several pending warrants that will be coming out that, based on their content alone, there's a great likelihood that he's someone who commit further felonies. Furthermore, without mentioning the facts of the case in front of us, children were involved. The state is requesting a bond, knowing that he has to have a bond because it's been well over 200 days, a bond of $200,000 per count, giving us a grand total of $800,000 bond for the case involving the exploitation. There are 4 separate counts there. As standard, I would also request that there be an ankle monitor placed on Mr. Williams, as well as that he surrender his passport, not leave Fulton County, have no internet access at all, and no contact with any minors or animals. But again, he's met all the Ayala factors. He's a flight risk, as evidenced by phone calls that we've heard.
Okay. All right.
Judge, just one more thing. If the court is inclined to grant a bond on this, which would seem released, the state does have a number of people we would be requesting no contact with as well.
All right.
Before you go, I'm sorry, Mr. Majeski, finish up.
Oh, no problem. Melody Scretchen.
Okay.
Gail Bickham. Alasia Alexander. Leilani Thwaites, that's THW. Miles Williams, Lakeisha Williams, Brianna Jordan, Deborah Johnson, Sheridan Strawberry and her kids, Olivia Washington, and Erica King or Erica Hughley. That was the person Mr. Lewis was referring to earlier, who is her co-defendant in this particular matter, Judge. And yes, the court did, as he noted, we did enter into a consent bond with her. That was for reasons, of course, that we're not discussing here in court today.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, Judge. One other thing, and I would. So the other thing that I've got, Judge, is although Mr. Majeski speaks of these things, and so does Ms. Taylor, there was no evidence offered to any of these things that are now being alluded to during that hearing that lasted for 2.5 hours. None of it. There was, and I permitted it, Judge, during the closing argument of the state, I permitted them to talk. I didn't object to any of it. Where promises were made about upcoming charges upcoming to Judge Edwards. And we have made it from January 31st all the way now to June the 26th. And we're told that in the future, something will be coming. I'm asking this court to give the future no credit whatsoever, because we had a whole bunch of future between January 31st and June the 30th. And if we keep on giving the future credit where things don't show up, we'll have a person sitting in jail who hasn't, not the issue of not being convicted, but not even accused and being held. And so I'm going to ask the court, reiterate my request to you before, UJR, no more than 5,000 counting everything. And I did not hear Ms. Taylor tell us whether that was more than one picture in those 5 counts or not, but I thought it was one picture, or at least I believe that's what Mr. Majeski told me, but it's been so long ago since we talked about that. I can't rightfully remember right now. Thank you.
It's 4.
Your
I can
Honor.
no, it's 4.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Clark. Ms.
Yeah,
Taylor, sorry.
Mr. Majeski addressed it. There were numerous images, actually, and as a matter of fact, the reason the case is still ongoing, the investigation is ongoing. Several more witnesses have come forward between January and now. They're still coming forward. We're trying to have a thorough investigation before we just indict. We can't just.
I got you. All right. Bob South, booth 1. Head up. Everybody sit up straight. Sit up straight. Trust me, I'm tired too, but I've been working all day. Sit up straight. There you go. All right. Position 2, ending in 0500. No drugs unless prescribed. No alcohol. No weapons. You must surrender your passport to Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lewis will put it in his safe that he has with all his money locked up in. Cannot leave Fulton County, cannot leave the state of Georgia. Stay away from 7100 Suttles Drive. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. You're going to have a 24-hour curfew with an ankle monitor paid for by the county. You can leave for court, medical, employment, attorney's visits, and job, as long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, the exact location it'll need to be working. It'll obviously need to be in Fulton County. No further contact with Melody Scretchen, SCRETCHEN. If you got all that right on that one, that'll be a $5,000 good bond. Position 3, ending in 1078. 5,000 each count. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. No further contact with Erica Hughley, Shirley Strawberry, Erica, let's see, Brandon, oh goodness, okay, let's see. Gail Blickham, Alana Alexandra, you said? Layla, oh gosh, you got to go, Mila Williams.
Judge and Deputy Clerk, I think it was Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Requested I send her all the names. I'm going to be doing that as soon as you.
All right, good. You rattled those off. So those names: cannot leave Georgia, cannot leave Fulton County, must surrender your passport to Mr. Lewis. Like I said, he'll stick it away where he's got all his money. All right,
Judge, clear it up for me, please. You mentioned Shirley Strawberry. You did not mean to mention Shirley Strawberry. Is that correct?
Sheridan.
Sheridan. Okay, yes.
Sheridan. Sorry, Sheridan.
Okay.
So Sheridan Strawberry, Sheridan. I apologize. I've marked through that. That's why I guess I'm
okay.
All right. You got the ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical visits, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you'll be working, and you can just lift all those on that one, Ms. Hunter. Position 4, ending in 2559. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You have ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you'll be working. No further contact with your co-defendant, Erica Hughley. And here I've got Sheridan Strawberry and Amanda Johnson. No further contact with them. 5,000 on each count. Position 5, 5407. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule, the exact location you'll be working. You can't leave Fulton County. You have to turn over your passport to Mr. Lewis. No further contact with anyone under the age of 18. No social media, no internet access. Surrender your passport, like I said, and you cannot leave Fulton County. 200,000 on each count. Best of luck to you, sir.
Judge, are you appending that language to if in fact he's got that hold in Henry County that the ankle monitor gets fitted upon return?
Yeah, he'll have 48 hours to have the ankle monitor placed on his ankle if there's a Henry County.
Right. Okay.
I think I covered everything, right? Internet access and or animals. I've got animals. No contact with any animals of any kind.
Okay, no animals. Gotcha.
All right. Thank you much, Mr. Lewis. Best of luck to you, sir. You can leave the booth.
And Judge, would you like me to copy you on that list of names as well?
Sure, that'd be good. You can do that. Thanks.
I know. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
All right. Thank you.
Y'all, listen. Wow. 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 So y'all, I have to check those names out. Let me go back to the article. Am I able to go back to the article? I mean, can't be around. He can't, no internet, around no one under 18, no contact with animals of any kind. Bro, what the heck was you doing? What in the heck was you doing? They heard that he had a girlfriend. He was going to Abu Dhabi to Steve's house. Shirley, what did you know about it? Listen. Y'all, that was a lot. That was a lot. So I will keep watch on this because I'm interested in this story. And I will keep y'all posted. My next story you guys may not have known about. I happened to find out about it last night on TikTok. There was a woman in Kentucky, in Louisville, Kentucky. There are a lot of conflicting reports. Allegedly, the woman and her wife, these women were Black, were at an animal hospital. They got into it with one of the animal hospital employees. The animal hospital employees, per video, hit the woman's wife while they were inside the animal hospital. Then they went outside, and the woman ended up, one of the women, well, the woman's wife was being assaulted. She ended up going out there and she ended up shooting him. And they cleared her through grand jury. She was cleared. and she decided to speak out about it. So I'm going to show that to you guys. So I was like, when I saw that on TikTok, I was like, I got to bring that to you guys. So let me do that. So that was the video I started playing to you guys earlier.
At 11, the woman cleared in the shooting death of a worker at the Shively Animal Clinic is speaking out tonight. A grand jury chose not to bring charges, finding that the shooting of 21-year-old Trent Taylor Jr. was in self-defense. The Commonwealth's Attorney's Office said that evidence showed Taylor was the initial aggressor against the woman and her spouse back in May at the clinic. We spoke to the woman tonight, but are not identifying her since she is not charged in the case. She says that she feared for her and her wife's lives, and that's why she shot Taylor. But she wanted the family and the community to hear her side of the story and says that she regrets what happened.
A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of days where my mind is just jumbled up. A lot of tears. It's created a barrier within our household relationships, family relationship, friends. So it's different. It's hard. Everybody has a side to their story. And although something tragic happened, it wasn't purposeful, it wasn't premeditated, it wasn't planned. And I don't want the family to hold, I mean, of course they don't have him here anymore, but I don't want them to hold on to this for the rest of their lives with the understanding that everybody has a side to their story.
The grand jury was asked to review the case and consider charges of manslaughter, second degree, and reckless homicide. But as we said, it did not return an indictment.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys now. I hope it doesn't stop that from playing. So I'm going to show you now the video from inside of the animal clinic. So like I said, they were there because I guess there was some type of dispute or something with the bill, and this all happened on Mother's Day. And allegedly the son works there, Trent Taylor, who was 21. The mother works there as a nurse, and then another member of the family, I think a brother or a sister who is 16, also works in the establishment. It's not clear if they were there at the time, but let me just make sure that I have this up for you guys to see. Hold on, let me go over to that. Make sure I have it for you. Okay, make sure you guys hit on that like button. All right, so here it is.
Shively police released surveillance video showing the moments that led up to a deadly shooting at the Shively Animal Clinic. Yesterday, the grand jury declined to indict the woman who shot and killed 21-year-old Trent Taylor Jr., instead finding the shooting was in self-defense. In the video, you can see the woman, who we are blurring because she is not criminally charged, getting into an altercation with Taylor, and then it moves outside where she shoots him. The Commonwealth's Attorney's Office says that the grand jury chose not to indict on second-degree manslaughter or reckless homicide because video and witness testimony showed Taylor was the initial aggressor. The family disagrees with the decision and plans to file a civil lawsuit in this case. We are working now to post the surveillance videos in the entirety on WLKY.com and the WLKY mobile app.
So yeah, there are yeah, so as you see on the video, you know, and there's longer form videos that I did see that show different parts of the animal clinic, because they go from, you know, camera to camera inside the animal clinic, and it just showed the employees walking around. So like I said, it seemed like it possibly also was racially motivated as well. And you see he was the aggressor. He did hit the lady, and then he went back again. And then there was a view I saw on TikTok, but it was obstructed. The video wasn't that great, where he went outside and he was fighting the lady's wife. The lady who shot him was dressed in orange. The wife had on the white t-shirt and the blonde, looked like the blonde fro. And they were outside, and he was choking her, I guess. And Allegedly she has one lung, so he was choking her and he was really being rough with her. So and from there, and that was why, and then he was fighting them both or something. So that too was why she shot him. And like the case with that happened in Chicago with Carlisha Hood. You can't put your hands on people. You just can't do it. You can't put your hands on people. And when you do, people are not, they're not responsible for how someone acts. So, and it's unfortunate thing that happens. So you guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for Follow-Up Fridays. Tomorrow I will have the video out. I'm either going to do a live or I might do a pre-record for Married at First Sight, the reunion second part. It depends on how I feel in the morning as to which one I put out, but the video will be out tomorrow morning. Let's see. Also, what else do I have coming up? Oh, Sunday I will have out. I will do a live for Love and Marriage Detroit. So I have that coming out. And then this past week I did, the hot topics. Yesterday, Thirsty Thursdays, Hot Topics Happy Hour. And also had, it was the season finale for, what's my show? Summer House Martha's Vineyard. So if you watch that show, if you haven't watched it, go ahead, binge watch that. As you watch each episode, you can come over here to YouTube. I have everything in a nice list for you, so you can watch my my recaps and get my thoughts on that series as you watch it. So you guys, thank you once again for everything. It's Friday. Hopefully you have a good Friday, a good going into the holiday weekend. I know some of you have to work Monday, but I am on vacation. I'm on vacation until the 11th, so I don't have anything planned. I plan on putting the winter clothes away, only for winter to be back in 3 months. But I need to put my winter clothes away and get my house ready because I plan on having a cookout this summer and doing some things. And then I plan on doing some things with my grandsons, and that's about it. Maybe I may go away over the weekend, next weekend. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to leave you as I usually leave you.
Say it with me, kids. If protecting my peace makes me the villain, then bitch, my name is Thanos.
All right, y'all. You have a good evening, and I will see you tomorrow morning.
Work, work, work. To me, I can work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me by that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the girl, them her, dirt, 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 dirt. Try me, I deserve it. Nothing to be lurking. Yeah. You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody touched me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me something that I never had, something that you never seen, something that you never been. But I wake up and nothing's wrong. Just get ready for work, 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 work. To me, I be work, 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 work. You see me do